So the point is, can the government continue to do this in perpetuity? Can they do this year after year? The answer is yes. After all, Britain and the US have survived their entire existence almost always running budget deficits. Surpluses are very uncommon. And not only are they uncommon, they tend to lead to fairly bad outcomes. In the US case, the most recent time we had a budget surplus was during President Clinton, Bill Clinton's term. In the late 90s and early 2000s, the US ran government budget surpluses. Now, we hadn't done that for decades and decades and decades, okay? We've been running budget deficits for 40 years prior to that. All of a sudden, the government goes into surplus. And what happens at the same time is that the private sector ends up running these massive deficits. Now, private sector is you and me, right? We're the households and the businesses in the economy. We just use the dollar. We don't issue the damn thing. And so when the rest of us try to go on spending more than we make year after year, it's called leveraging up. It's called households taking on increased leverage, increased risk, and what we ended up with was a financial crisis.
Right. Okay, I think MMT is clear in the sense that those debt levels that are currently increasing are in the niche won't cause a bankruptcy, especially in countries that have their own printing press. Now, for the euro, Europe mainly, all the euro countries don't have this printing press anymore. So is that the main issue you think with the euro? That we can no longer have those deficits because we are restricted. That we can't print our own money.
Yeah, since we don't have a fiscal union, right? Since it's controlled by the European Central Bank.
So all of the countries that adopted the euro gave up their sovereign currencies and adopted what amounts to a foreign currency here within what we call the Eurozone. Is that the fundamental difference? Yes, it is. Is there default risk now associated with the bonds that are issued by governments in the Eurozone that doesn't exist in countries like the US or the UK? Yes, there is. It's a fundamental difference that exists now in countries that tax, borrow, and spend in euros, where the country itself has become a user of the currency, no longer the issuer.
Would a fiscal union next to this monetary union be the solution?
It is part of the solution, yes. I mean, you hear people now talking about a variety of things, including the importance of a banking union, right? And other things. But absolutely, the decision to take monetary power and put it at the supranational level to give the ECB control of the currency, but to leave fiscal authority at the individual member state level is something that's just unprecedented, right? I mean, we have a currency union in the US, we have 50 states, we all use the US dollar, but we don't just have a Federal Reserve for all 50 states, we also have a treasury for all 50 states, and so we have a transfer union as well.